We go back racing at the Creek on Saturday night, 11 races, so it's a big program, kicking off just after 5 o'clock. We've got to hang around until race 9 because that will be the highlight, because it features the superstar pacer Leap to Fame. Following his last start defeat in the Grand Circuit race, the Blacks Are Fake, he returns to action as he prepares for the world's richest race, the $2.1 million Tab Eureka at Menangle on September 2. So he's going to tackle the free-for-all. We look forward to seeing him in action. There's plenty of other good races on the program. And in this edition of Weekend Winners, I'm going to speak with Narissa McMullen and leading driver Nathan Dawson. Narissa McMullen now joins us to go through her book of drives on Saturday night, and she's with us now. Narissa, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Barrier gods are not your friend right now because you've got so many second row draws on Saturday night. 7 drives, 6 of which you've got second row draws.
Yeah, the draws don't look in my favour at all.
Okay, the only front row draw is your first drive here, so Miss Mucho it is, race 2, number 4. This is a mare that's going well. How do you sort of rate her chances here?
It is sort of a fairly strong race, but she was racing super before a little let up, and she's first up for probably about 6 weeks here, but you know, if she's ready to go and at her best, I think she can sort of run into a place.
Okay, she hasn't trialled in recent times, has she?
No.
Okay, so what do you do from gate 4 fresh up? You've got speed to your inside and there's a little bit of pace to your outside, but overall it looks sticky, so how do you sort of play it early?
Yeah, we'll probably just have to sum things up after the start, but I'd sort of like to press forward if we can without doing too much.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it early?
Probably not, but yeah, just sort of see how things work out.
Okay, that last start effort, that was in that mares feature at Redcliffe, so maybe a little easier if anything?
Yeah, she sort of got a little bit fired up that night, but she still raced really well. Yeah, so I think she can run a good race here.
All right, well, that's Miss Mucho. That's the start of your night on Saturday night. Race 3, might as well again for Ron Saller. She's fresh up also, but she looked good in that recent trial. How did you gauge that performance at the trials?
Yeah, it was a pretty sort of easy hit out for her, but she felt really good, hit the line really well, so I think she can run a good race here. The draw probably suits her. She just sort of needs a good trip and she'll be finishing off really well.
Is that her forte, just the sit sprint caper?
Yeah, I think that's a go with her. She's super quick when you just hold her up for one run.
And just looking at this race with that kind draw, 2 off the second row, following out Surface, who does have early speed, more pressure early the better?
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully he puts the foot down and puts a bit of speed into the race, and if we get a good trip, yeah, she could be a chance of sort of finishing over the top.
Okay, so off that trial, she's close to the mark. She can win this first up with luck.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Race number 4, you've got Jagara, again for Ron Salas. It's gate 12 this time, the outside of the second row. That's not good news, that draw, is it?
No, it's not, but I'm sort of keen to see him off the second line because I think he is better when you don't use him early. Yeah, we'll just go back, hope for a bit of luck, and I think he can finish off well. He's got a really good few 100-metre sprint.
Okay, so he's got the hoof on the till by the sound of it.
Yeah, he's been racing good. Yeah, just needs a bit of luck.
Okay, so you're looking for a little bit of tempo early, no doubt, and then just the right horse to follow late in the piece.
Yeah, that's the go.
Okay, well, that's Jagara, race number 4. What about in race 5, Gwyneth P? Another one that's thereabouts. Her recent efforts have been really good. She's drawn 2 off the second row, likely to follow out the early favourite here in Eloisa Dale. Could this race set up well for her?
She's pretty consistent, racing well, but it sort of does look to be a pretty strong race. A few nice mares there, so I think she's going to need a lot of luck.
And looking at that front row draw, it does look strong, so does that guarantee good early pressure?
Yeah, it looks like there'll be plenty of speed on, but yeah, we just have to drive her for a bit of luck and yeah, sort of hope she's hitting the line okay.
All right, going to the pegs early, is that an option?
Possibly.
Okay. With a bit of luck, she should be able to feature Gwyneth P. What about Zoom Party in race number 6? Hasn't put in a bad one yet since coming up from Sydney. Do you like this horse?
Yeah, he's sort of quickly become one of my favourites. Probably should be unbeaten here. I was really unlucky last start, so I think he's a really good chance in this race.
Okay. When you scored with this horse first up at Redcliffe, did he sort of surprise you in a good way?
Yeah, it definitely did. His form probably wasn't outstanding, but just the speed he showed was really good, and I think he just continued to improve every start too.
Yeah, he looked good winning those 3 races at Redcliffe, and then last week just no luck. So you're probably right in saying with luck he should be unbeaten. But that's a quantum rise in grade, going from Redcliffe Thursday to Saturday night and being really unlucky.
Yeah, he's just continued to sort of take that step up every start. So no, I think he can really go well in this race.
Okay, doesn't matter the distance, mile or 2100?
I don't think that'll worry him. Probably just needs to find a card into the race and, yeah, hopefully can finish over the top.
There doesn't look to be a standout in this. Blackjack Bart's going to be heavily fancied from his inside. Big Skewy's dropping in grade, comes up with a gate. So they probably look the hardest to beat at this point?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, well, that's Zoom Party. Good push there for Ron Sellis again in race number 6. Race 7, Forbidden Jewel. It's another one for Ron. Where's this mare at?
She's a mare that just sort of follows any speed, but when you sort of peel off and ask her for more, she doesn't always give it. But she's always thereabouts. She should sort of get a good trip, maybe go to the fence. Yeah, she shouldn't be too far away.
It's not a bad field, this one, and those main plays in this race look to be drawn nicely off the front row.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so we're just driving for luck there with Forbidden Jewel?
Yeah.
All right. Kokora, is that how we say it, race 8?
I think so.
All right. What can you tell us about this mare? She's first up for you, no trial.
Her work's been really good. But she's sort of a mare with a few quirks. She can pull and not really the nicest horse to drive. So hopefully she does everything right, and we'll just sort of drive her quiet and hope she's hitting the line well. I think she is a far better mare in front watching her replays. So I think we'll just have to wait for a draw with her.
Okay, was there any temptation about giving her a trial?
Her work had been pretty good, so I was pretty happy just to throw her in the deep end and sort of see how she goes.
All right, so fitness-wise, she's pretty close to the mark. You're just sort of, being guided by her more or less.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, they're your drives on Saturday night, several off the second row. So which one are you most looking forward to?
I'll go with Zoom Party.
Okay, Zoom Party it is. That's race 6, number 11. He's in super form. Hey, Narissa, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries, thank you.
The number 1 driver in the country is Nathan Dawson, and he slides into the hot chair to go through his book of drives on Saturday night. Nathan, appreciate the time.
Nah, good to be on, Chris.
Warfare Race 1. He was a beaten favourite last time out in Veterans grade. How does he measure up here on Saturday night?
Yeah, he's going well enough. It's probably a bit of an awkward draw for him out there over the trip, but he's definitely going good, and if he gets a bit of luck on his side, he won't be too far away.
There's too much speed to your inside to sort of launch for the early lead?
Yeah, there is. There's a fair bit of speed, and Mr. Clooney's the one that likes to roll along, so I don't really want to be sitting chair, so if I could just find a spot somewhere, that'd be really good. Okay, so if they do roll along here, or perhaps overdo it, and you're tracking up nicely, he's going well enough to get over the top of them? Yeah, I believe so. He's going well without a lot of luck. So if he can get a good trip and, thereabouts, he's definitely good enough. There's no standout in this race, is there? No, it's not. It's a pretty even field, so whatever one gets the best luck in running and, probably the one that wins. All right. Race number 2. Oh, I like the look of this race on paper, but it might set up quite easily here, leader behind leader. Holy Cam Dillon, an eye-catching effort last time out, and you're driving Beach Villa, who you won on last week, who's drawn directly behind it. So is there a chance it might play out that way, leader behind leader? Yeah, that's the way I see it. Holy Camp Dillon was super last start, finding the line very strong. So he's proven himself before, a go-forward horse. So, I've got no doubt that they'll probably try to hold lead, again Saturday night. Okay, if that situation sort of presents and you're right in behind the speed, gee, you're going to take some beating. Yeah, I will. I do think the one horse was the one to beat. It was a bit of a toss-up between which one, I drove, but I think, my horse is in good form and he should be able to, get pretty close to the leader. We just watched him win last week. He was on the front end and doing it all at his own sort of leisure in front. Is he just as effective off cover? I haven't really driven him off cover much, but at the time Grant drove him, he was finding the line good, in good company. So I'm pretty confident, it doesn't worry too much with him. Okay. His confidence must be high because he's in such good form. He is, he's racing really well and, he's backing it up every week. So, you know, I wouldn't be swapping him for any.
Okay. The other key runner in that race could be Bubba Scrub, who's sort of facing a class drop. How do you rate him?
Yeah, he's a nice horse. You know, he's probably got a bit of tricky draw, but I'm sure he's going to go forward and, you know, probably try and, you know, bully his way somewhere. But, you know, if the race is run genuine, it's going to suit me.
All right, Peg's the spot to be there. That's race 2, number 8, Beach Villa. Keen to get your thoughts here in race 3. You're driving number 2, Surf Ace. Can he lead Captain's Pick? Captain's
Pick's pretty good, you know, pretty quick out, and so is my fella. I personally think my horse is better off speed. You know, I've only driven him once in a trial, but you know, I think he races better off the cover.
He is going a lot better than what his numbers sort of read, like 0085. He is going better than that.
Yeah, he is. You know, he's a nice horse, and you know, when you're up in this grade, if you're not having much luck, you know, it's pretty tough for you out the back.
Okay, so do you have to make a decision quickly here at the start of the race? You're either going to push for the lead or just grab up straight away?
Yeah, I'll have a little look, you know, not for long, and you'll know in the first couple strides where you're going to get. So I'll have a look, and if we're getting somewhere, we'll go forward. If not, you know, let's look for a bit of cover.
Okay, and like the first race, there's no real standout here.
No, it's not. It's a pretty even field. You know, as I said, it's one of those races that, you know, if I get a bit of luck on my side, he's definitely good enough to win.
All right. Race 4, this is a good drive here. Dark Terror, he is in very good form. He's been placed these last 4. Has he been somewhat of a surprise, the way he's struck form here in Queensland?
Yeah, I think so. You know, he wasn't doing, you know, a lot, and especially the times he's running down south. So, you know, the times he's running and, you know, having to do all the work in those times, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that's the thing that stands out, the versatility. You can use him many ways. So what are you sort of planning here from gate 3?
Yeah, we'll head forward. You know, he's in good form, and, you know, should have a bit of respect about him. So we'll be pretty confident, you know, looking for the lead, and you know, if not, I'm pretty happy to hold the chair. If
he does get the front, do you think he could be beaten?
Everything's, you know, possible, but... Yeah. You know, the form he's in, it's going to, you know, take a lot to beat him.
Yeah, that last performance, we're watching it here. He did plenty of work, and he dug deep when it was required here at the top of the lane.
Yeah, he's a good trier. You know, I was just feeling for him a little bit on the corner, but, you know, when I really asked him, he knuckled down strong and gave me everything he had. Okay, what's the horse there in that race that sort of stands out for you as far as a main danger is concerned? Oh, to be honest, I think it's a pretty like, you know, even race. So I think whatever horse is given the best trip's going to probably be the one featuring again. Okay. Race 6, number 7, Young Conqueror. Not an ideal draw, but he is a last start winner. So how does he rate for you? Yeah, you know, he's good last start and obviously a weaker grade, but, you know, the draw out there is going to be tricky for him, but it's not the strongest of races, so if I can get some luck somewhere and running, you know, be there in the finish. Just on that last start performance, it didn't shock you, did it? No, not at all. He'd be going well, and you know, I thought he was back in grade, you know, somewhat to what he'd been racing. So, you know, I was pretty confident with him, and I drove him that way, and he was too good. Okay, well, that's Young Conqueror, race number 6. Let's go across to race 8. Macarena Maddie. Now, was she a little disappointing for you last week? She's a funny mare. You know, she like sings on her own terms, and you know, if they don't go that way, you know, she's not 100% honest. But she was good enough, and you know, if things can go her way this week, you know, she's going to jump up out of the ground. Is this easy, this race on Saturday night? I'd say so. You know, I left pretty good last week, and you know, I was all but over. But you know, this week, if I can fight on top, she'll take some beating. Yeah, absolutely. Goldie's A Delight from the inside. She's going to be a threat. Yeah, definitely. She's a good mare. You know, probably lacks a little bit of high gate speed, but she gets out well enough. So, you know, the draw is definitely going to help her. All right, so we've got to take Maddie on trust. Yeah, you do. Okay. Race 10, Funny Face. You found the key to this mare. Jack Butler's got her flying along now. She's shooting for 3 in a row. She's a good quality trotter. Yeah, she is. You know, she's a nice mare, and, you know, she's putting it all together now, and, you know, it's showing. So, if she can repeat that again, she's going to take a bit more beating this week. Yeah, that last performance, Zealous Spur was 3rd. He's come out and won since, so that's good form. Yeah, it is. You know, and she's been good in the way she's doing it too. So if she can get away good and, you know, put herself in the race at some stage, they're going to know she's there. No concern with the trip? No, not really. You know, she's raced over it before, and the style she likes to race in is not really going to affect her over the distance.
Okay, well, that's Funny Face there in race 10. The last, the 2-year-old, Fremont Street. There's a couple of early scratchings here. Milliwood's out, Synchroniser's out. He's a last start winner, so how does he fit in here, Fremont Street?
Yeah, he's a nice enough little horse. You know, he's still learning what it's all about. But he's got a bit of ability there, so the scratching's definitely going to help us. But you know, if he pops up, I'm not going to be shocked.
He does look green. He wants to have a good look around when he's out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. You know, he doesn't know what's happening at the moment, but you know, he's just doing everything on raw ability. So when it all clicks with him, I'm sure he's going to be a nice little horse.
Is Soap Opera the horse to beat?
Yeah, I think so. You know, she's racing well, and she's obviously the one to beat.
All right, another big night coming up on Saturday night for you. Which race are you most looking forward to?
Probably Dark Terror and Funny Face. They're in good form, and I enjoy driving them, so hopefully we can get them home.
All right, that's races 4 and 10. Nathan, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
And a big thanks, as per normal, to our 2 drivers, giving up their time and insights ahead of their drives on Saturday night. Narissa McMullen and Nathan Dawson. It's time now to find a good thing, and I'm going to hitch my wagon to Nathan Dawson. I'm keen on the chances of Dark Terror. This guy's in super form. He comes up with a nice draw. There's no reason why he can't go back-to-back. Race 4, number 3, marking him as the best bet on the program, Dark Terror. As I said, it's a big card, 11 races, and we kick off at 5:12. We'll see you trackside this Saturday night at Albion Park.